Moving on to another series. This one, tightly contested. Going back and forth and back and forth. And it was Giannis Antetokounmpo and Al Horford who went back and forth in this one. First, we have Giannis dunking all over Al, staring at him, talking to him, nodding at him. Guess what that did, Jalen Rose?
It got Al Horford going.
Got Al Horford going.
Say that with your chest. The guy that was a member of the Oklahoma. And by the way, just so y'all know, when y'all watch the playoffs, just remember this. A couple of seasons ago, Chris Paul and then Al Horford were both playing for OKC.
Yep.
Just think about that for a second. Now both of these guys in their own right are starring in the playoffs. Chris Paul struggled his last couple of games, obviously. But I'm so happy for Al Horford because he's going against Giannis.
Like, the best player in basketball.
Yeah, exactly.
The best basketball player.
Correct. The guy I call the best player in basketball.
Oh, it's not even a question.
And the thing is, in all phases, playing D against him, shooting threes against him, playing mid-range against him. And did you see the old fella dunk on him?
But if you said don't poke the bear, I wouldn't think the bear would be Al Horford. I thought the bear would be Giannis.
Hey, you know what? Did you see the old young fella dunk on him?
Don't disrespect Al Horford
the old
like
young
that.
fella. You see the
Don't disrespect Al Horford like that.
And by the way, on that play, Giannis was in the backcourt playing Twister with Marcus Smart on the ground. Al Horford was running the floor. And look at most playoff games before his first 30-point game. That was not expected.
132.
That was not.
And they need every one of those 32.
They needed each and every. I'm so happy for him. I'm so happy for them. And here's the thing. Milwaukee is playing without Chris Middleton.
Yes.
And the thing that. The reason why I felt that the Celtics legitimately would win this series is that reason. And let me tell you why. Like Giannis, when you talk about finishing in the paint, like he's probably the best in the game, the most dominant finisher in the game, right? Him and Drew Holiday took 30 shots in their previous game to win. And watching how they got those shots, threes or layups.
Yep.
Or dunks, or free throws when they went to the line. What does Middleton do so great?
Mid-range.
Unlocks the rest of the floor.
Yep.
So it's like a great defense, right? Have a great defensive lineman, great linebacker core, great secondary. They're missing a linebacker. And Chris Middleton. Just think about, you know how much you and I, at the mid-range, look at CP3, look at DeRozan, look at Middleton. Like, we love, look at KD when he's going. It's like, it looks different. And that's what they're missing. He's a ball handler. He's a scorer. And I know a lot of people don't give him the credit that he deserves as the second best player that just won a championship. But he's a multi-time All-Star and legitimized that.
Well,
and you're going to miss him.
We all love Ja Morant, right, because of the highlights. And we love Jokic because of the highlight passes. But Middleton, it's just not a lot of highlights. He's like a Jalen Rose player. A lot of buckets.
Right, okay.
Very productive, just not a lot of highlights.
Correct, no highlights.
But someone you want on your team, but maybe not going to make the highlight reel.
Correct.
When we're putting together
no double pump dunks, no backwards dunks. He's not catching
no step
lobs.
back threes.
I'm telling you, dog, I used to play in games, and if a team was fronting me on the post, I used to be like, man, I'm like, and then I'd be thinking, why are more teams doing this? I can't jump. You know what I'm saying? This ain't nothing else gonna happen.
You mentioned an incident between Marcus Smart and Giannis Antetokounmpo, and we're gonna play the tape, and I want you to break down exactly what's going on between these two competitors.
Well, a lot of hold me back, and then a lot of play Twister, and then a lot of they both really tired.
I like that last part.
Yeah.
This is my favorite, though.
They're both
like, you
tired,
help me
man.
up, I help you up. You're kicking me in the head.
Yeah.
What are we doing here?
Right. He's like, man, I ain't got time
Just
to
leave
play
me
with you,
alone.
dog. Right. I tried to help you all I can, but I can't do nothing for you, man. I love that so much. Great fellowship between the defensive player of the year. And again, I'm really happy for Ime Udoka.
Yep.
Because, by the way, let's talk another thing that unlocked Al Horford's game. No Robert Williams III. That means more minutes at the 5. See, a lot of times they play both of those guys together. And Grant Williams' ability to play multiple people defensively allows that to happen. And so for Al Horford to show up the way he did against the team that he did is extremely impressive for the Celtics to tie this series.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.
Will it be 2-2 going back to Boston for Game 5 Wednesday, or 3-1 Milwaukee? Here goes Tatum downhill.
I gotta get it. I'm on the mission, snap any minute, casually when it stop tripping on me, stop dissing on me. I got a dream, can't take it from me.
I mean, this is as intense as it gets, and it's round 2. Boston can take the lead on the road in Game 4. Horford for 3. Cash!
Our backs were against the wall. We needed to respond, and that's what we did. We didn't quit. We just kept pushing.
Now we go back to Boston with a series all tied at 2 apiece.
He is Jalen Rose. I'm David Jacoby. We are Jalen and Jacoby. What is it that we
get
do?
the people what they want.
We will discuss the Al Horford game in Milwaukee in a second, but we start where the action ended last night. Jalen, the Grizzlies had a lead throughout the game until the waning seconds. Take us through what you saw here.
Well, Steph Curry attacking the basket, being aggressive. He had a terrific ending to the game, and obviously he's an amazing free throw shooter. And if you're Memphis, this is a golden opportunity that got away from you. I know you don't like
I hate it.
The Desmond Bain call, but it is a foul.
No!
I know you and our producer, Brandy, feel like it's not a foul.
That's a flop.
She stopped even playing it.
It's another four-letter word that starts with an F. It is a flop.
No, it's
Director Brandy, play it again.
He
it is
sold
a flop.
Yeah, he sold
He
it.
didn't touch. Look at. He did not extend his arms. He did not extend his arms.
Let me tell you what you actually do.
Watch his arms. Watch his arms.
What you
didn't extend him.
I'm gonna tell you what you do though.
No.
You go next to him. You kindly put your hip next to his hip, and you just kind of let the ball come over. So soon as your hands come away from your body,
they didn't come away from his body.
They're gonna call it. I mean, and I know a lot of people feel like this is like a major play that cost Memphis the game, but they had the lead. They were playing terrific, and all of the things that you wanted from a team without John Morant was happening the first 3 quarters.
Exactly.
It was happening. And unfortunately, when you're going against the Warriors on their home floor, they made timely plays. And I want to shout out Draymond Green. I know he's playing with a heavy heart. Lost his brother, Adrian Payne. Had 2 points in the game. I applaud him still being out there for his teammates. But again, Steph Curry was the difference. And when you don't have Ja to be the closer, I just really believe like that was the key.
And people talk about Jordan Poole and how important he is, and Klay Thompson having big games and what Draymond brings. But let's not forget about Wardell, Stephen Curry.
And it's timely buckets. I believe, what do he have? 18 points in the fourth quarter. And so he pick and chose his spots. Wiggins had a really good game, an active game. And I talked about that early in the series, his activity, tapping balls, getting offensive boards, making open shots, just being aggressive. That's what they want from Wiggs. If you ever watch the Golden State Warriors do an interview, they always talk about, we ask him, we want him, we beg him to be more aggressive. So it was good to see him play well.
Warriors played some good defense as well against the Grizzlies, made things difficult for them, especially in the fourth quarter. Things were going so right, as you mentioned, the first quarter, the second quarter, the third quarter, but in the fourth quarter, they started locking up.
In particular on Jaren Jackson Jr., and like he's a guy you hope to see make plays. It was good to see them not be able to close the deal. Just reminded me of Memphis during the regular season playing without Ja versus the playoffs. And here's what I mean. If you're a student, your GPA is a reflection of your effort. If you show up every day, you give an honest effort, you have a good attitude, you're going to pass. But test taking is a skill. And so you have to train yourself for that skill. You're sitting there for 2 hours at a time, 3 hours at a time, 4 hours at a time. Those are just things that you normally don't do. So that's a learned behavior. I bring that up because the regular season in the NBA is about effort.
The Grizzlies put out the effort.
If you play hard and you're going to get points in the paint and second chance points and fast break points, and they're one of the fastest teams in the league. So that's the regular season.